So just gentle comedy, my guy. Just gentle comedy.
There's nothing gentle about our comedy. Jesus Christ, we're more like an iron fist and a rubber glove.
Genuinely, the law firm that I used to work at.
Spoilers.
Wraggy, say nothing.
Say nothing!
Just in case mentioning their name throws us into some kind of trouble. The law firm that I used to work at, their private wealth division, which was for super rich people, as you can imagine.
I got that vibe, yes.
Their tagline was an iron fist in a velvet glove.
Fuck off.
Oh, yes.
Which was based on I think it was like a Trustpilot review that we got from a client that said that we were like super experts or whatever. Like they were the iron fist in a velvet glove. And I was like, really? This is the one we want to use?
Yeah, I love iron fists. That always brings nice feelings to mind.
Well, happy podcast day, you deviants. Welcome back. It's been so long. I can barely remember who you are.
It's been too long.
It's been way too long, Mr. Neal. Right. Well, without further ado, let's pick back up with the action. We gathered around the microphones. We got Mr. Neal, Mr. Wragg, and Mr. Durrant, and we are going to pick back up where we left off with the action. Now, you may remember from the last episode that Tatty had pulled a blinder and completely broadsided the DM by managing to get himself invited to Jerry's office in hell and then hoodwink Jerry whilst Jerry made him a business proposition and then use one of the two remaining wishes on the Ring of Wishes to drag Jerry, a demon, back onto the mortal plane and trap him there, fighting him in armed combat that resulted in many a wound and ending with Jerry clicking his fingers and turning himself invisible. What happens beyond there, we will see when we pick up with Mr. Bojangles. But in the meantime, we're going to pick back up with Belciar, voiced by the very wonderful Matt Durrant, as he is in the little village of Bayden Nox, where a massacre has just unfolded and an impromptu funeral that involved an exploding corpse and the death of more innocent villagers. So, Belciar, what do?
The action opens on just Belciar going, and then cuts to everyone standing around him as he continues to go, I guess we should leave.
Yeah, you've had your marching orders. Amos Hawthorne, who is the trendy youth pastor, who's one of the few people who managed to survive the poisoning in the village and then also managed to survive the exploding corpse, has told you that your time in this village is running short and any kind of welcome is long since been outstayed and you should leave. Hence, you gathered around the hearse with the remaining characters, Maud, Aristobulus, Toadflaps, and unfortunately you killed off one of the Bogdanovs. Well, not you personally. There's only one Bogdanov left.
Yes. We're now Bogdanovless. Bogdanovless.
You've only got Pete Bogdanov left. You unfortunately killed Jeffrey Bogdanov. Or say you. I mean, Tatty and Hanash did. As the rest of you gather around the hearse, looking back.
Oh, we saw the hearse.
You can see the villagers. The villagers are there, and they're watching you. And they're aware you're there. And you feel like you're on the edge of a moment here. You could cut the tension with an ice knife.
Zeus, you're ruining the audio. Thanks, Zeus.
We are in touch with some very important deities, by the way, listeners. That is Lord of the Gods himself, Master of Lightning and Thunder, Zeus.
Have you seen Zeus before? He's clearly a god.
So we've still got the hearse. That's nice.
He's a cat. Yeah, there's still a hearse.
And we've got horses, I guess.
Yes. The horses managed to survive unscathed. You look down at the hearse, you see a couple of gold coins sticking out the panelling from the explosion of Hanash's body.
Okay, I guess we'll leave those there. Yeah, I guess we're on the road again and just heading on to... So I'm still not entirely sure. I don't know if I know the place where we're going.
Wow. Make me maybe just a pure wisdom check.
Belciar's like working out from the direction the hearse was pointed in that they probably want to continue in that direction.
Wow. Well, being that you backed the hearse out of a barn.
Oh, we can't even tell that anymore. Well, I rolled a 9.
You're processing a lot of grief. Like the big boy that you are, you're compartmentalizing as fast as you can, but you're running out of little rooms in your mind palace to push the grief in, and as fast as you're slamming the door, it's bursting back open. As you look around, you suddenly realize you didn't really pay a great deal of attention to where the fuck you were supposed to be going. You know, it was somewhere in the mountains that you can see in front of you, as you can see the mountains cresting up over the treetops. But where exactly in the mountains, you're not entirely sure. You are aware that you've come from Nicodranus, and you are aware that this is the small village of Bayden Nox.
Okay, so we're going to go a little way up the road, just around maybe the next corner, so that it's not awkward, and then we're all going to take a little short rest.
It's like leaving your in-laws and just driving out of the crescent and round the corner, and then just getting out the car and just cracking open the hard liquor. Okay, yep, sure. I mean, who's taking control of the horses? Just out of interest. Just for shits and giggles.
I don't want to say Aristobulus, but...
No, he'd probably fuck it before he...
Probably. Maud's good with animals. You're good with animals, right, Maud? You like horses.
Okay, if I must. As you see, Maud steps up onto the headboard. Maud, he said, picking out of his character logs. Here's Maud. Maud, who hasn't had a great deal to do for a long time. She's going to make an animal handling check. Here we go. +5. Go, Maud. We all miss Shan very much. She will be returning to the podcast one day soon, listeners. Don't worry. Oh, 21. Maud gets onto the headboard, G's up the horses. Nothing happens. You see Maud get back off the headboard, walk around to one of the horses, and you just hear her whisper something into the horse's ear. You don't know whether it's affection or threat, but you see the horse rise up. If you've ever watched the original Superman films, when Clark Kent takes off his glasses, his posture goes from a slump. You can see Christopher Reeves, as he takes the glasses off, almost grows about 5 inches in height. Whatever Maud said to the horses really gets them in the mood. Again, that sounds kinky now that I've said it out loud. As she gets back on the headboard, flicks the reins, and off you go. As you trundle away, Belciar, you look back over your shoulder. You see, as you leave the once peaceful village of Bayden Nox, the survivors standing, watching you off. With your last view of the village, you turn and once more cast an eye over the small, meagre grave of Cato the Crow.
Bye, Cato.
You consider for a moment whether you should take the body of Hanash, and then you remember that you atomized him as you reach down into your satchel and pull out the spike that was once embedded in his head that you still hold as a...
In a way, his atoms are surrounding us right now.
As you hear Aristobulus sneeze. Yeah, I reckon I still got some of him caught up there.
We all get lung disease from breathing in pulverized Hanash.
You're pretty sure at one point you see Aristobulus rubbing some of Hanash's ashes into his gums. As you make your way, with little to do. Maud has, after the original kerfuffle, Maud has a pretty good control over the two horses as you trundle further up the dry, rocky, arid path that snakes through the edge of the woods up onto the foothills of the Sirios Mountains. Still not entirely sure where you're going in your own mind, but knowing the direction is where you should be going. Oh, and then you pull over to one side, as you said, after a reasonable distance, a polite distance, out of view shot and round the bend and a bit. You see a couple of children have run out of the village and are just chasing you.
Oh.
You look back with some wistful thoughts that they are the next generation of Bayden Nox who possibly won't remember this tragedy fully. It'll be but a little summer's adventure for them when 8/9 of the village died in a single city.
Well, yeah.
You've also said goodbye to the final Bogdanov who you left behind. Yeah, you pull over and make camp. What are you doing?
I'd like to sing the song From Rags to Riches because I'm everyone's looking a bit gloomy and.
Could you make me an insight check, please, to see whether that song is in the public domain? Because I don't want to be sued.
Let's see if that is public domain on the basis of it's an 8. That's public domain. Right?
You're not sure. You hum something as you just see Aristobulus gently weeping, sitting on a tree stump as he's holding two halves of his tin whistle that were broken in the explosion.
Gosh, this really is our end of the Empire Strikes Back.
Wow. I was going to say Winter of Your Discontent, and you downgraded it from fucking Shakespeare to George Lucas, but I'll take that. Yep.
Short rest. There we go. I'm not dying anymore. Do we even have a map? Is there any? Is there like a next village or a next town where maybe we can stop in and find some expert?
Maybe an investigation check.
Oh, 7?
You all rummage through your satchels, knapsacks, backpacks, everything you can find. None of you can find anything even close to a map. You assume that Tatty was the majority stakeholder in navigation for
maps.
Your adventuring party. You see Aristobulus is just licking the moss on one side of a tree as he's like, yeah, you can tell which way north is because the moss tastes bitter on that side of the tree.
Right. We've got nothing. We're without Tatty and Hanash. I'm just kind of saying this out loud to everyone. What are we? We're barely adventurers. We can't even get around the corner. At least we used to be good at escaping the last thing we burned down, and we can't even do that anymore. Help me, Toad Flaps.
Toad Flaps just stares at you and is like, look, we probably need to have a chat at some point. I mean, I had a life debt to the gnome. And I mean, it's no surprise to you that I had a major wide-on for Hanash. But that ship has sailed, unfortunately. So really, I have to ask myself, what is keeping me here? Do I want a life debt to a man who associates himself with massacre? I can't say.
You probably want to... I mean, I think you're on the right side, aren't you?
The right side of what?
To divide between chaos and forces of whatever is represented by those of us on this hearse.
She stares at you for the longest time, considering her options. As she's like, your moral compass spins so fucking fast, I could use it as a fan.
Well, I can't promise you riches or power or happiness or much of anything at all, really. But I can promise you adventure. That's what we do best.
Make me a persuasion check.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. She looks at you and says, I'm a long way from home, and it would be a hell of a walk.
That's the spirit.
And on those grounds alone, I'll shackle myself to you for a while longer. But when Bojangles comes back, there'll be a reckoning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when he comes back from the farm, we'll all get together.
From the farm. Because I tell ye, I do not have the neeps to be swearing a life debt to a bawbag who commits massacre.
Are you saying...
No, it's cool, Matt. None of us got that either. I heard neeps and ballbag, and
she basically just said, when Tatty comes back, she'll have a chat with him because she doesn't really fancy following someone who commits massacre.
So she's following me for now in the absence of...
For now.
Any...
Yes.
Okay. I'll take that. That's the spirit. I give her a friendly punch.
You friendly punch her on the shoulder. She does not reciprocate in this boyish behavior and just stares at you, and you can feel the grip tighten on her hammer.
Okay, let's
And she walks away.
Let's ride on. Let's straight on till morning. First star on the left, and a tall ship to sail her by.
If you who are in this group, you can have a short rest as you remount the hearse, carry on up the mountain path. You travel for maybe 40 minutes, and as you come round a curve in the road, a bend, you see two figures in front of you, one tall, one small. You see a pretty large-looking man in plate armour with various leather pads on him, who is standing in the middle of the road, currently throttling a small goblin. I need you to make me a insight check, please, Belciar.
Not sure what he's doing to this small goblin, but insight. That's a 2 plus 6. That's an 8.
An 8. You can see some religious symbols on the man.
Religious souls. Sandals.
Symbols.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he's got Jesus Creeper sandals. No, you can see on his plate armor large iconography of religious symbols as you hear the little goblin screaming. The man has got a leather glove and is choking the goblin out as you just hear a little, "Let me go!" Nah!
Well met, travellers.
As you get nearer him, Mr. Wragg, would you like to introduce your new character?
Hello.
Yeah.
For our French listeners, I am sorry for this imitation.
Well, that's phenomenal.
It is a form of, how do you say, flattery? My name is...
It's fucking phenomenal.
My name is Jean-Paul. And I am with the Order of the Emmental. I've been sent to help you from Insert Lady, who we knew earlier on in the quest. Sister Pereneas. I don't know how long I can keep this accent up for, but we'll see how it goes.
Forever and ever.
Pereneas. As you just hear the little goblin that you're choking out going, "That is fantastic expositional narrative, but let me go."
Shut up, you little goblin.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Yeah, there you go, Belciar. You can see, some sort of holy warrior from what you can ascertain, standing in front of you, claiming to be from the Order of the Emmental.
This is wonderful, friend. You're literally my knight in shining armor. You say your name was Jean-Pierre? Jean-Luc?
Jean-Paul!
Jean-Paul.
This could only be more perfect if he had a fucking necklace made of garlic bulbs. Was fucking holding half a camembert.
On a bicycle.
On a bicycle in a black and white stripy t-shirt. Ah, dear God. This is beautiful, Chris Wragg.
Yes, Sister Pereneas. That's a name I remember.
I should hope so.
Yeah, I'm just now recalling that we don't actually. There's been a little mix-up with the Emmentals, and they are in possession of another.
Where is your small friend that has been traveling with you? I have had stories of the crankfuckers. Where is the big one?
Well,
Where is the big one? Name of the episode. Where is the big one?
I think you two would have got on well in a strange way, but we had to say goodbye to him, and also the little one is going through some things, and he took the Emmentals with him. He went. I guess I can gesture generally in the direction of the village, and I'd be like, I think he went that way, kind of.
I'm sorry to hear about your magnificent friend. We must find the little one. We need to find the Emmental. With haste.
Vite, vite! Grande vitesse!
What is the problem?
Zut alors!
A wizard put a spell on the road, so we can't go back along this road.
What wizard?
Foul. It was Foulhog, the brown.
Foulhog the brown.
It sounds most terrifying.
Yes, we had a mighty battle, and he put the spell tree squirrels mighty wall on the road.
I've never heard of such a thing in all my travels, but okay.
So I guess
You're just trusting him at this point. At no point do you want to make an insight check to see whether he's lying. Not that I'm telling you how to play D&D.
I've been following these guys for a while, so I know he's lying, but I'm not going to call him out on it.
The way some people drip feed their story, Chris Wragg just makes it rain. He's like, yeah, I've been following you for a while.
Bullshit.
No, this is in my head. I'm not going to ask him because of that.
Love that. Red flags, Matt. Red flags. He accidentally liked one of your Instagram posts the other day.
I hate to hurry this quest, but there's been an advance in the timeline.
Oh, no.
Carmen.
Not the timeline.
The timeline.
I'm afraid that if we do not get them... I was so in it. I'm afraid if we don't get the fifth Emmental soon, there'll be dire consequences. Dire!
Okay. Do you have any... Damn, we need a tracking wolf, or can Picato follow a scent? Picato, can you follow a scent?
Dear God. Baketo doesn't talk, but I think the closest you're going to get is an animal handling check to Baketo. I tell you what, make me a persuasion.
Persuasion.
He can
Okay.
do it, but it takes a lot to get in there.
He can do anything. You just really have to talk him into it. 18.
18. What are you trying to get him to track?
Well, I guess I'm digging through. I'm digging through my much. The last thing Tatty gave me was a quarterstaff, I think, and maybe the wand of fireballs. I hold out the quarterstaff to Baketo and I say, "Can you smell him, buddy? Can you smell him?"
He looks confused and he puts both hands up to take the quarterstaff off you.
No. We're not giving you weapons. No.
He points to the wand of fireball.
No. Because I'm steering him away like a cat.
You see his little shoulders sag as you hold out the staff as he nibbles on it and bites it and licks it. He cocks a leg and tries to fuck it at one point, and then he looks up and just charges off into a bush.
Right, shit. Very quickly, is that goblin coming with us, or...?
No, this goblin is evil. Nice. Snap his throat, I guess. Snap his neck.
Fuck you!
Do I know this goblin? Who is this goblin?
No. As a holy man, you were ridding the countryside of verminous scum. As you just take your sword and run the goblin through, you look up really slowly and lock eyes with Toad Flaps.
For the stink of the cheese! And I stab it.
As Belciar, Toad Flaps turns to you and is like, "I'm not gonna lie. There's certain red flags about this gentleman."
I don't know if we can trust him, but he seems to be... he says the right words, which is... I'm going to latch onto that.
I can hear you, and I can promise I'm a great guy.
See? Listen to him.
Jean-Paul, make me a persuasion check with disadvantage because you just fucking killed a goblin in front of Toad Flaps. Toad Flaps is just shaking her head as she's like, "I don't know. I've got a bad feeling about this."
Let my actions speak for my honor. Apart from this one. Forget about this one. You didn't know the context of this one.
As you just slide the body off your sword as it slumps limp and lifeless to the floor. She's like, "All right, I'll be the first person to say that not all goblins are good people, but this is not the start I was hoping for."
One scammed thousands of people in a cryptocurrency scam.
Make me a persuasion check, Belciar.
14.
14. Yeah. She's like, "All right, yes, cryptocurrency is a magnificent bag of dicks, and many people who get in lose their investment. You should at all time take financial advice before engaging with cryptocurrency. You may lose more than you staked. Okay, I suppose."
Hop on, Jean-Paul.
Okay, but are we going to some kind of funeral? Is there a body in there?
Not any. Is there actually any? No, we got rid of all the bodies. Well,
all the bodies?
Well, it's a long story, but of the 2 dead bodies that boarded this hearse, one is alive again. and one became alive and then died.
Well, as a holy man, this is a wonderful thing to hear. Oh my god.
50% of the corpses this hearse held are walking and talking as I live and breathe, literally. So
I look forward to hearing stories of such events.
well, let's follow Pocato, and I shall tell you of our wondrous episodic tales available on all good platforms.
You are well aware that Cato ran off the roadside, yeah? You're not planning on taking the horses like straight into a ditch and into the woods.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping there'd be a road.
I mean, you might be, and I won't stop you if that's what you want to do. But you will be leaving the digitized map area.
Let's walk. We'll leave the hearse and the horses. Yeah, let's walk.
Toad Flaps, with still on the fence with regards to Jean-Paul, offers to stay with the horses and hearse, as the rest of you dismount and just make your way into the shrubs at the edge of the woods where Pocato vanished.
Pocato!
You just hear like a hissing.
I'll follow the hissing.
Using your very rudimentary tracking skills, you follow the kind of like grunts, fart, clicks, and whistles. As you come into a clearing in a glade not far from the roadside, you see Pocato animatedly jumping up and down.
Okay. What's here? Is there anything obvious? Is it like a campsite or?
I need you to make me a perception check.
Ooh, 15 perception, 18.
Pocato is running around in a small clearing of trees where there are green shoots poking up out of the soil.
What do you smell, Pocato?
He's jumping up and down animatedly. He's leaping up and down, pointing to the ground.
I regard the ground. Is there anything there? Do I need to dig anything up? Or?
You just see lots of green shoots bursting out of the soil and leaves as the sunlight dapples down on the clearing.
I'm gonna give one of the. I'm gonna pull up one of the shoots if I can and give it to Aristobulus to eat.
Okay. Ripping out the shoots from the ground with a flick of soil and roots, you see a clump of potatoes that are growing wild in the woods.
Oh.
As Pocato just does a little dance of joy.
Oh.
Pointing to his relatives.
Oh, I get it, Pocato. You want to have little potatoes of your own.
He gives you a weird look and shakes his head.
You want to have sex with these potatoes? I don't understand.
He gives you the 50-50 shrug.
But these are your people. You want to return to the soil.
He's still just dancing around, tugging at the little stems of the other.
Okay, right. Thanks, Pocato.
Is there a speak with potatoes spell?
Vegan necromancer.
It's not speak with animals, it's speak with food.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have comprehend languages. It's worth a shot. I'm gonna cast comprehend languages on myself.
Okay, as you cast comprehend languages on yourself for the first time in this adventure, the guttural yelps and barks from Pocato morph in your mind's eye into words as you just hear a little voice going, "Family!"
Well,
I told you it was Danny DeVito. Yeah!
it's weird, isn't it?
Papa! Family!
You want? I just want to. I don't know. I suppose there's a lot wanted to say to you, and in a way, this is what I wanted to say to Kato, your namesake. But I appreciate you, Kato. You've always been a little tuber-shaped, carbohydrate-packed friend to me. I turn to Jean-Paul, and I'm like, this doesn't usually happen.
You just hear the little voice going, blush! Swoon!
and now listen, little Kato. This is our new friend, Jean-Paul, and he's going to give you I don't know, what is it you want? Something you like. Some meat, some red meat.
He stares suspiciously at Jean-Paul for a while and then just says, eat! Fight! Fuck!
He can arrange those things, but we have to get to his house first, and he
Trip!
Yes, he'll take us on a trip, but first we have to find.
Fuck trip!
First we have to find. Do you remember Tatty, the little guy?
Shot!
Yes, that was him. He was almost as little as you, Kato. But if you can find Tatty for us, we'll have a big party, and you can have all of the red meat you can eat, and all fuck.
He stares at you for a while, weighing it up, and then just goes, no! Fuck! Meat! Vegan! And then just sprints off.
Okay.
Into the shrubland.
I said to Jean-Paul, I'm like, I think he's going to help us.
Okay, whatever you say. The Krunkfuckers are legendary. I don't want to. I'm excited to see the magic.
I guess have you heard stories of Kato as well? Is it?
No. I am confused by seeing a potato doing all this, but yeah, hey, I'm a holy man. I've seen crazy things before. Is this your first pet? He's a wonderful little guy.
Yeah, I think we're finding more and more out about him. We're a little thin on the ground, so I guess it's time for all of us to show our new talents. And I mean, I guess Tatty was kind of the tracker, the huntsman, the ranger of the group, but now he's been replaced by a potato. So
you just see Aristobulus rubbing his swollen divining rod as he's like, you know what? I find that really offensive. But go on then. Let's follow the fucking potato.
Oh, I'm sorry, Aristobulus. I didn't.
And that is where we are going to pause this week's episode.
Ashanti.
Well, Mr. Chris Wragg, that was a fucking delight. Zut alors. That's a thing of beauty. Welcome to the show, Jean-Paul. Cannot wait to see what trouble you get into.
It's great to be here.
Just a couple of fun guys hanging around.
I'm surprised it's taken that long for you to use a spell to speak to Kato, but I'm glad you
We had
did.
nothing to say to him before.
Yeah, just think of all the cosplaying options you've just opened up for all our listeners at next year's Comic-Con. Right, that's about all we're going to achieve, I reckon, for this week. Any last words from you deviants before I let you all go?
I want to thank Chris Wragg for an exceptional entrance as Jean-Paul. Round of applause.
Yeah, can we just get a round of applause for A, Chris Wragg's exceptional entrance, and B, his exceptional French accent?
That was fucking fantastic. Just for the listeners in France, what region were you aiming for? Was that like Marseille or La Rochelle? Or?
You have to say it in a French accent as well.
The middle bit.
The most English thing anyone has ever said. The middle
I've
bit of
only been
France.
to Marseille before, but I was only a child. I'm probably doing an accent of someone who works at Disney, I think. Probably an American doing a French accent, and I'm a British person doing an accent for an American person doing accent for a French person. I'm so sorry.
The timeline.
Look, listeners, podcasting is tough, okay? Podcasting is tough. Just the beads of sweat dripping down Chris Wragg's face right now. We should all be so lucky as to be as talented as him.
It sounds like, what's his name? The guy who owns Anakin, Phantom Menace or whatever.
Watto.
Yeah, that's it. It kind of sounds like him a bit.
Oh, Watto. I think he was loosely Iranian, wasn't he? Like,
What are you doing? Your mind tricks don't work on me.
All I'll say is, at first, I pictured Frenchie from The Boys.
oh yeah. Good call.
And then now that you say Watto, it's like there's a middle ground between the two of them, and I think you found it. And now I can't stop picturing your character just like tiny little wings and just like fluttering in space.
Somewhere in a backpack on the other side of the forest, you just hear a non-binary spider, Gaspard, just going, "Fuck this shit."
What is this outrageous French accent?
You think you are the first? Eh, sacre bleu!
Let's draw a line under this before we alienate any more of our wonderful French listeners.
Mon ami!
Je suis désolé.
All right, listeners, adventure is out.
Au revoir.
That's making it into the final episode.